Okay, so now the GoPro is recording. So maybe I can show you exactly what it looks on the GoPro at, like, I don't know what the angle I have is. But so far so good. Okay, I am going to put this at the beginning of We Don't Know What We're Doing number 6, I think, number 6. And you will see a little footage. Will I put it right after this? I'll go ahead and put it right after this before I go into actually how to put this ActionHat insert into another hat. I wore the hat for a long time, the one that I put the insert on last night, just to get the feel with the camera on it. And yeah, it did feel like it wanted to pull down a little, but you know what? If you put a camera on a normal GoPro mount, it's going to feel like it's going to want to pull down. It didn't pull down. It was comfortable. I think it was so comfortable that today I wore a hat at church and I didn't realize, not this one, but a different hat at church. I didn't even think about it because I got so used to wearing a hat. But either way, it's just a nice solution so that you can have the head mount for that kind of first person effect, but not have to wear a really kind of goofy looking head mount from GoPro or you know, one of the competitors. Nicely done, ActionHat. Very happy with this. Keep watching. You'll see a little video recorded, I think even in slow-mo, a little video I recorded just inside of MHOR RC Raceway in Aurora, Colorado. You see right behind me, right there, that I recorded in there. And you should bring your business to them, whether you're racing your cars or buying stuff. They're great people. But either way, I'll put a little bit of a video, and then you'll have the We Don't Know What We're Doing instructions on how you can also install this on your hat. And I will have down in the description a link to the video that ActionHat actually put together, so that you can look at the official directions. Thanks for watching. I'll also read the description. I'm going to put some pointers down there. So read in the description, because I'll put some pointers from what I learned putting this in. See you guys later. Keep watching. Bye. You're welcome. Hey everybody, ready for another workbench review? And actually I'm going to review two things in one, and then I'm going to do something to see how it works. Okay, what you see before you are three caps. This is an ActionHat, this is a Scally cap, and this is a Scally cap. And the reason I have the three here is this is my RC driving cap. You can see that this one, what do they call it, a Blacktop Collection. Can you see that? Blacktop Collection. Whereas this one, basically if you're from the Boston area, it's going to remind you of Red Sox with the blue and the red inside. It's going to remind you of the Red Sox. And I've got both of them because although I can use this hat for what I got it for, which is I love using my GoPro. And often, especially if you're filming RC cars and you don't have like 30 people to help you, one of the best places to have it is on your forehead. But if you look at the head mounts, they're uncomfortable sometimes, not terrible, but they can be uncomfortable. They look funny, that's for sure, especially, see the top of my head? They look funny, and it means you can't wear the hats that you really like. And I love Scally caps. So the first part of this review is for this fairly recent new collection that they have, the Blacktop. And again, 5 stars. I love everything that the Scally cap people, Boston Scally, but Boston Scally comes out. They come out with awesome stuff. Only one little detraction, if you should see this, Boston Scally, do you see those ripples there? I've never had a hat that had that kind of bubbling. Now, I've never had a hat that had this kind of paper on the bottom, which is the blacktop effect, but you guys can see it's not there. So the only, not enough to knock off a star or even half a star. My only complaint is, yeah, it would have been nice if that was truly flat. But this is, it's a different style too. This, I think, is more of the original style. See how it's, if you lay it like this, it's more flat than this one here, which is the first type of cap I got. This is not the first cap I got, but the first type of cap. So why did I get this? Because this will allow me to either use this cap here, this action cap, will allow me to either use this cap to hold it, or, and this is why I got it, you take that insert out and you can actually put it in this. Now I will have to cut a couple things. Ouch. Not my finger, hopefully. And I got to decide which one I want to do. I'm going to turn this off in a minute, think about it, and then come back and show you me doing the actual change. But they've really put a lot of thought into this. You can see even with theirs. Notice in the hat, you got a couple dots back here, a couple dots on the top. Can you see those? Yeah, I'll get my finger out of the way. And then they have a couple dots in the front, which are the ones they're using. And then this, see that inside? That inside will float. Now, they say to test it, and you should test it, because you don't want to lose your expensive camera because it didn't work. But that is a patented insert. And that insert can come out and be put into another cap. Luckily, my wife has been kind and said if I do it with this one, my RC cap, she'll let me get another one. But I'm gonna think about which one, and then I will be back and I will show you me inserting it and then putting the camera on. One thing I think you got to think about before I forget is if you have a GoPro, this is a GoPro 7 and this is a GoPro 8. I haven't gotten the 9. I'm probably going to wait till the next one. I'm still grumpy that GoPro came out with the display mod finally as they came out with the GoPro 9. So the display mod for the 8 didn't come out until the same time, essentially, that they came out with the 9. And to me, that's a little... But notice this. What side's the door on this one? See that? What side's the door on this one? See that? Which means whichever camera you're going to use the most on your head, you want to make sure that you attach this so that your screw, whatever they call the thing, I'm sorry, the screw or whatever does not block the door. Okay? So either way, I'll be back. Let me think about which one, and then I'll show you doing it, and then I'll wrap up the video, maybe a day or so, but I'll wrap up the video with some actual footage shot from the top of the hat. Thanks for watching so far. You know, I stopped and I realized if I'm going to show you how I did it, I've got to show you taking the insert out of the hat too. So basically going to take my RJX Hobby set out. I'm going to grab the Phillips. Sometimes my eyes work better than other times. Phillips head. And if you look inside here, this mount right here is screwed in there. And is that Phillips or is that flat? That's Phillips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this mount off so that I can release this, because part of my decision on which one of these two hats that I do will be on how it fits in it. So let me go ahead and take that out real quick. Okay, we'll call this We Don't Know What We're Doing episode 6, since I got to put it in some kind of category. So I just took out these two small screws. Here, let me show them to you. See if I can get the camera to focus on it. Sony's EV1. Took out those small screws, which released this, right? And notice there's really no difference. It's not different top to bottom, so I can have it either this direction or that direction. And I'm going to have to, before I put it in, I'm going to have to make sure that because I'll use the GoPro 8 as a whole on it. I don't know which way the GoPro 9 is. Hopefully they didn't switch it back. Oh, I could just turn it over. So now I can pull the insert out. See that? And now the idea is you take it, and go all the way down into here. Let's see how that feels. That actually fits comfortably. Yeah. Nice thing about the Scally caps, so big thumbs up review part of that. Just love them, all of them, as I said before. Is with a size 8 head, there's plenty of room. Plenty of room. I do have one Scally cap that's a bit tighter than the others, but as a whole. So that fits really nicely, and if I use the bottom one, it's going to be about here. That's where it's going to come through, right about there. If I use the top one, it's going to be about here, but I think it'd be better to do the bottom one. You're going to you're going for like a first person effect. So let's check about the blacktop. This is the one that I probably will use it with, but let's go ahead and put this in the blacktop. Oh, still very comfortable, still very comfortable. The other nice thing is I don't think there's any chance of the head or the tail of the screw, that those are going to actually push against my head and be uncomfortable. But with this one, it's causing it to fill out too. I may have to run upstairs quickly and look in the mirror, just to make sure it's not going to look funny with it filling out. But with this one, the holes will end up, it's the bottom two holes, the holes will end up about here. Do you see that? Right about there. Which actually is a pretty good spot for them. I probably would go a little to the top of them, but that has the foam all the way down into this edge here. And it might be worth me backing it up just a little bit so that it doesn't like push out on it. But it has the foam there, and the two marks are right there. So I'm going to go with the blacktop one. I am going to run upstairs quick. I'll be back. I'm going to go look in the mirror and make sure that this, when I put this in here, that it doesn't push the hat out in some weird way where I wouldn't want to wear it. But I'm going to go with this one, and I will show you me installing it in just a moment. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Did you miss me? So I am going to go with this hat, and I did go upstairs, and if anything, with my head at least, this improves it because it fills the hat out a bit more. Now I would say do not take the front of this and push it all the way up front here. It will, you can see it. So go back a little bit. Now these are the steps in their video, which I'll try to remember to put in the description of this. Their video talks about these steps. But what's neat is, do you see that little area right there? That allows you to center it. So if you have a hat like this that has a seam, it's very easy to center it, right? See that seam there in the middle? So you can center it on that seam. This one, however, doesn't have a seam, obviously. But if you notice, it does have, I don't know what you call this, ornamentation here, but it does have this, and I do think part of this, just looking at it there, I will be able to figure out which one's right in the center and then use that to do it. So these are the steps. You place this in here, you center it, and then you take a marker, Sharpie, whatever kind of marker, and you mark where you're going to cut the holes. And I'm going to cut my holes for this one, not for this one up here. Then you take a X-Acto knife, and this really is an X-Acto knife, generic or otherwise. You take an X-Acto knife and you just puncture a couple holes, and that's why I'm going to be paying a Boston Scally. It's going to pay me to cut holes into this, but it's for a good cause. RC cars. Yes, okay. So let's go ahead and do that. Just in case, let me just show it to you one more time where I'm going to do it. And that way, if it's hosed, you'll know not to do it here. If it isn't hosed, you'll know to do it here. So basically, I'm going to do it just like that. Can you see where the ornamentation is? I'm going to do it just like that. Okay. I also have to make sure I have it straight. Oh, it's in here. I have a gold one in here. See this gold one? So if you're doing black, this gold one will be handy. So then I just made two dots. Do you see those two dots? Are they showing? Oh, no, you can't see on the hat there. Can you see on the rim the two dots? Can't tell. Two dots. Then I'm going to take this out, grab a cutting board. Yes, this is a big cutting board, but I try to use this little one so that I'm not doing it. Take my X-Acto knife. And then basically I should be able to just cut a couple of holes. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, it's not putting the hole through much. I'm gonna slowly slide this to make the hole bigger. You see that? And I'm gonna do the same thing with the other one. And then I'm gonna put the screws through. So let's come back here. See, the problem, this is also an inner lining, so I've got to get it lined afterwards too. So it's an inner lining, and I'm going to go through again, and then I'm going to slowly push it through like that. Okay, so now I've created 2 holes. Let's see if I can get the screws to go through. So I would be cautious about that because you could easily cut the hole and then have the fabric slide. So there's one through. See that? Let's get the other one. But you could have the inner fabric slide from the outer fabric, and then your holes could be not lined. And you definitely don't want this to end up scrunching the fabric in the front, right? So I've got one through. Where's my other screw? There it is. Let's see if I can get the other one. There we go. And now I have the 2 screws. See that? Right there. Okay. We got the holes through, but of course, I got to put this in first, right? So this is going to be kind of interesting. I got to take them back out. I wonder if there's a good trick for that. I can't think of a trick. So I'm going to take them back out. I know that I've cleared enough fabric, and then I'm going to do it one more time, but with this. It's using up some space. It's going to be interesting to see. You know, I think they'll have enough to grip this, but it's going to be interesting to see. So you can see, there we go, we got one. Let's do the other one. Got it! Yeah! Okay. So now we have both. You can see them here. Okay? And you know, when I look at it, I may not have them exactly straight, but we'll see how it turns out. Can you see that? See that there? It may not be exactly straight. We'll find out. We will find out. We might be able to hide some of the scrunch or something. Okay. So now, let's see. I use a GoPro Hero 8. The door on the GoPro Hero 8 is there, which means you want the bolt, or whatever they call the thing, to come from this side. Oops, you can't see it. You want it to come from this side, which means that this here should be coming this direction here. So you can see where the thing for the GoPro is going to screw in. I'm not sure why I'm having such a brain cramp on the name of it. So let's go ahead and go like this. Okay, so this is a little interesting. Got it on here. I'm not sure it's exactly straight. I think it's going to be close enough. So if you don't tighten it quite all the way, they don't have a lot of give. They don't have a lot of give. And I wouldn't look at the camera to see if it would. You don't have a lot of an area to loosen it. But if you don't tighten it all the way, you can, you know, adjust a little bit on how things are going to be. These dog hairs, cat hairs off this, and it won't come off. Okay. But there you go. Looks pretty centered to me. I'm going to tighten it. Get it in its last spot here. And it looks like it's probably up just a bit on that side. Can you guys? Okay. So let me just finish tightening it. There you go. You can see in there. See that? Right there. Now I'm going to tighten it, and this will be it. Close enough for government work. The only thing I would say is, you know, do pay attention a little bit about the horizontal here. So let's go ahead and throw a GoPro on here. It does not come. The ActionHat does not come with this thingy that I keep forgetting the name of. Let's go ahead and put that on here and see what happens. So what do you think? Is it me? So from a sense of feel, definitely is heavy on the front here. You know, it seems like it might want to lift it a little in the back. I'll probably tilt my hat back a little bit more. This feels a lot more secure. I definitely would say it's good that it can float, because if you're going to use something like this in water, you want to be prepared. I'm not sure how centered that looks. I don't even know if I have the hat centered for that matter. But hey, as a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and do this. I'll record that recording this. It should beep, beep, beep. There we go. Okay, so now the GoPro is recording. So maybe I can show you exactly what it looks on the GoPro at, like, I don't know what the angle I have is. But so far so good. I'll do some videos, and then I will either put the wrap-up comments at the very beginning, or they'll be right after this. You'll know by having watched the video this much so far. Thanks for watching. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back sooner than I thought. So, you know what? I don't like, you can even see the input. I don't like that it's off that much, and that's on me. But the neat thing about it is that I have some room. So I'm going to cut a second hole, because this is going to secure it. It doesn't need the fabric to, you know, it's not like it's using the fabric to give it rigidity or anything like that. I'm going to cut a hole just down a little bit. And come to here. I've got this hole to guide me. I'm going to come to here and try not to cut off my finger. I'm going to come down to about here and cut a hole again. There we go. So, see there. I'm going to cut a hole. And then I'm going to do what I did before and poke. Well, actually what I should do with this one, I need to mark it. So I cut the hole, I need to mark it with my handy dandy gold marker here. If I can find it. Okay, got the handy dandy gold marker there. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put that one first, because if either one's going to be a problem, it's going to be that one. But I'm going to go ahead and come through that new hole. There you go. And I ended up having it, the way I cut them, I have it all the way up here. If you look at the channel. So let's go ahead and put the GoPro back on. There we go. Like I said, I'm going to probably set it back a little bit more. Theoretically, I could also put something under the hat to do it. There's a decent amount of weight. You know what a GoPro weighs. I wouldn't put the media mod and the microphone mod and all. I mean the display mod and all that on there, because that could be problematic. But we'll see. I'm going to test this. You'll see the video, and the reason, as you'll see in the video, is because if you look at things, right? If you look at things, it follows your eyes, right? So you tilt your head and, you know, I look down at the battery, it's going to pick it up. Now I'm not sure where I have the camera set. So I will be back after we've done some tests. You'll have some test footage. See you later. Bye. You're welcome. Ha 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 ha.